Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is BestInSlot, otherwise known as Jeremy Jones, the tour guide for today, introducing you to our brand new InGen testing facility, our dinosaur research production ROD sort of lab. Now, you may have seen over the past few weeks on your video watching device that we have showcased multiple dinosaurs that InGen has produced in secret. Even non-dinosaurs such as the Dimetrodon has made an appearance. Even some of our old, slightly iffier hybrids such as the Malosaurus. Well, now you're going to get a peek behind the curtains as we develop our brand new InGen testing facility with a range of never before seen creatures right here at their initial development stage. And we've got a treat for you today. We're going to start off with something that looks pretty cool. If everyone could join me in the hatchery facility, we will of course be expanding the park over time with new hatcheries and new development areas and such. We're in very early stages of testing, okay? Ladies and gentlemen who are somehow watching this, you're my shareholders, otherwise known as YouTube viewers, and therefore you deserve the best of the best. So, today I'm going to bring you a new piece of genetics from the Jagged Fang Designs genetic group and upload it to the magical place where we retrieve all our genetic information from, called the Nexus. And if you happened to want to download this, somehow, magically, you could do so with the link in the comment section. None of this makes sense. Down below. It was uploaded by PaleoDude123, who sounds just like a cool paleo dude, but he is in fact one of our top scientists. Regardless, I've plodded on long enough. Let's meet our new creature for today. Now, if you're looking at your little tablet, it may well say Allosaurus because that's the base genome we developed this dinosaur from. Let's have a look, shall we? So my very lucky ladies and gentle ladies, what we are seeing right here is the Yangchuanosaurus, not Yangchuanosaurus, as many things on Google tried to tell me. It is our Allosaurus basal dinosaur, but we've rejigged it a little bit to create this gorgeous little theropod. Measuring up to 11 meters in length, or 10.8 if we're going to get specific. Yangchuanosaurus is it's actually a metriacanthosaurid, but it is very similar to the European and North American dinosaur, the Allosaurus. It is in fact Chinese, coming from the, I'm going to butcher this entirely, the Upper Zimao formation. I apologise, ladies and gentlemen, they don't pay me to learn Mandarin or any form of Chinese dialect. I'm just here to talk about the dinosaurs. If we can hold on with our magical time pausing device for a second, then we can get a look at your brand new dinosaur. Remember, you are our shareholders, our stockbrokers, whatever. And these dinosaurs need rigorous testing, and then maybe there are some applications for them. We are InGen and we are evil after all. But first of all, we can observe the beautiful colour markings and design of this dinosaur. I know what you might be thinking. If we're going to use this to murder people, do we need it to look pretty? But there are other applications for dinosaurs. The red crest, maybe it could be used for bullfighting. I don't know how that makes sense, but let's roll with it. This beautiful colouring and beautiful marking means this dinosaur can be in shows. It can go into zoos and parks around the world. It could even be a pet if you happen to be a little bit crazy. It is a fairly beautiful looking dinosaur. I think if I can talk off the record for a moment, folks, it is a gorgeous looking dinosaur. Developed by Jagged Fang Designs originally for AOG, which was a genetic project for Jurassic Park Operation Genesis. Unfortunately, it was scrapped and now been brought into Jurassic World Evolution, or our InGen testing facility. Cough, cough. With the red crest and the kind of spiky bits on the nasal crest, and it tilts back just above the eye. The model is intricately detailed, to say the least. I love how the blue coming down just there onto the lower jaw as well. And then it fades. There's this ridge that comes down past the eye where the blue instantly starts to drop out into this kind of pale blue-grey beneath the mottled black. And then that disappears entirely, and we get this whole new array of shapes and colours and designs with the striping and the kind of claw mark almost. Tints of red come in, so sort of spotting from like the cheetah sort of effect. The hands bring the blue back again, as do the feet. It is a beautiful specimen. I think we can all agree with that. But ladies and gentlemen, you're paying a lot of money for this InGen testing facility. It would be a little silly if I only showed you one colour. So before we do our final dinosaur testing, let's see what other skins the boys in the lab have cooked up for us. in our initial testing, the Yangchuanosaurus, I'm probably butchering that as well, Yangchuanosaurus was very, very popular, but unfortunately some people wanted the colours boosted just a little bit further, and that is what we've given them with the second skin, which we're calling the woodland skin, because there's little tints of green there in the striping, but that red, that blood red, is very, very vivid, sure to strike fear into the hearts of your enemies. That's not all I've got for you today, folks. We have 4 more skins to show you, you lucky sons of guns. If you really like the red on our last model, then you will particularly enjoy this one as well. We took that red tint and we applied it across the entire dinosaur. Again, sure to strike fear into the heart of your opponent, or if you just want to look cool at the clubs, roll in with your red dinosaur with the red eyes as well. That is a fairly terrifying view right there, folks. I don't know how here in InGen we've managed to freeze time, but we have. Just roll with me on this one. You may have noticed by this point that all our dinosaurs share the same basal designs and colour patternings, with minor deviations here and there. Here at InGen we like to develop the dinosaur, make sure it's top notch and well designed first of all, and then when it is we can go in and change things up a little bit more. The colour variations you're seeing are a natural variation occurring during the birth, during small genetic mutations, nothing we don't have a hang of yet. What you are seeing here is a very aggressive dinosaur. It is worth remembering this creature we've brought back was the apex predator of its time, a large, ferocious, meat-eating theropod which would have taken down pretty much everything in its area other than potentially some of the larger sauropods. I believe the Yangchuanosaurus would live in a similar sort of area. One more to show you today, folks, and then we're going to do a little bit. You're very, very lucky. You're getting to stay around for some scientific testing. There's not much point having these lovely creatures if they don't do much, is there? Now that you've seen all our skins, feel free to check the catalogue you've been sent and you can pick one out for yourselves. Our Yangchuanosaurus is going for a roughly $20 or so million per specimen, but I think you'll agree that it'll pay for itself very quickly somehow. Now, other guests have started to arrive, but that's okay. You folks at home, you're the VIPs, we'll ignore those. In fact, the guests are kind of quintessentially necessary. That didn't make any sense. Kind of necessary to what we're doing here at InGen. As you may know, InGen, we are a somewhat evil company. Unfortunately, that means we need some human test subjects, because these dinosaurs are no use to you folks, you warmongers, you, if they won't hunt down and kill other people. So we will be retaining some guests for slightly more dangerous testing we'll be doing later on. But first we must see how these dinosaurs tackle other dinosaurs in a combat scenario, because that's a very common situation. This genetic testing is all over the world now. You are going to come up against other people with dinosaurs in hand. How will the Yangchuanosaurus stand up? We're going to release one of our medium theropods now, the Yangchuanosaurus. Now, some of you may have already purchased a Yangchuanosaurus from us. In certain situations, it is a very useful creature. Its low profile makes it particularly sneaky, while still retaining the power and ferociousness of our other theropods. It is not, however, particularly designed for these one-on-one combat situations, so it is a great test subject for a battle with our brand new Yangchuanosaurus, who you can see instantly goes in and gets the first strike. Now the Yangchuanosaurus will get some hits in, just because that's how evolution is made, but we should see the Yangchuanosaurus emerge as an easy victor, or I'll give you 10% off right here and right now. That's a beautiful looking creature right there, isn't it? It really is a stunner. This may be, I'm just going to break character for a moment, which is so unlike me, I know. This may be the nicest single looking dinosaur, modded dinosaur in Jurassic World Evolution. Like, it honestly might be. I think it's a stunner. It's so cool. I actually love it. And there we'll see the first of our break-offs. Now how this works is we monitor the health of all of our dinosaurs, and if they reduce below what we would consider 50% effectiveness and ergness, then those dinosaurs will break off to try and recover. But fear not, as time passes by they will re-engage in combat, and that combat does tend to have a lethal ending. Whilst we wait here at the facility, this is meant to be sort of a longer building sort of series. That's kind of the idea. Never mind though, for Allosaurus 003 and Majungasaurus 001, these are the names, designations we're going to stick with these creatures. They're not here for love or affection, they're here for combat. We can once again observe their battle. We do have a different Yangchuanosaurus joining in the combat this time with an already weakened Majungasaurus, so I don't see this ending well for our medium theropod, but you do get to watch the combat prowess of the Yangchuanosaurus in the combat. You may have noticed when it bites the enemy, it does not actually connect with the bite. That's just one of the features of the Yangchuanosaurus, and that is its signature killing move. You may have seen it before, or you may think you've seen it before on countless bloody other dinosaurs, but that's a trick of the mind, I assure you. Now comes the messy part. We're going to clean off this corpse. No interest in that here in the park. We'll be developing a nice little sort of safe place for the Yangchuanosaurus to live. We'll do that in a moment, but first I do think we need to test out its hunting abilities, because whilst you may come up against a dinosaur too, primarily you are using these dinosaurs for dinosaur to human combat, and what good is it to you if it doesn't have any desire to hunt your fellow humans? We're very lucky here at InGen to have the latest in technology, which A, lets us record these creatures for you in a lovely slow motion to really get the gory details, which I know you want, you cheeky bunch. But also, we have new technology which lets us retract our dinosaur facilities, our dinosaur fences, into the ground, to the point where it looks like some overlord with a mouse cursor has deleted them, but I assure you that's not the case, and what has happened is they've sunk into the earth below, ready to be popped up again as need be. We do this for training purposes only. Now, it is a shame. This is necessary though. Human testing is the future. It is the way. You know, we've been testing on rabbits and stuff for a long time, but nobody wants to see a dinosaur hunt a rabbit. That's not going to prove anything. This will. So if you've been considering a purchase and you want to know the ferocity of the Yangchuanosaurus, this is the time to see it. It appears our first dinosaur has chosen a foe. It approaches her from behind. It does a little, "What's up, babes?" Kind of spreads its arm a little bit. She falls to the ground. I don't really know why. We don't pick them for their intelligence or their athleticism. We just pick them because they're willing to come to the park and risk being eaten. You'll see the Yang is initially a fairly curious creature, but those eyes are unblinking and unwavering. He knows what he wants. He's just observing her, learning from her beforehand. What will other prey animals do in the future? What you're seeing there is one of the great things about the Yangchuanosaurus. It just devours its prey whole. That means no messy spills, no messy cleanups. You don't need to hire cleaners, and if you do, you can just eat them afterwards. It's a win-win situation. And just about character again, that's a really cool screenshot, and I want it for the thumbnail. You'll see that these dinosaurs actually work really well together as well. You'll notice they're standing together, they're not eating each other, they're not feasting upon each other's supple flesh, which is nice and fun for the whole family. Okay, let's stop breaking character now. There we go, that is a beautiful shot right there. So, I think we've seen a little bit of that bloodlust, but it would be a little silly to not see just a little bit more. So I think we're going to get that right here. Let's up that letterbox. I know that doesn't make much sense, but it looks dramatic, and I love myself a little bit of drama. What can I say? Let's get up close with this one. Oh god. The Wang is the Yang. I keep calling it a Wang. Will always bite down across the head if possible. It wants to instantly take out its prey. It gives them a shake, very crocodilian in some ways, kind of like killer whales, orcas in some ways as well. It's shaking to rend and tear the flesh, to accentuate the blood loss, just to ensure that its target dies. It then swallows them whole. It's not here to mess around. It's not here to feed. It's not here to chew. It's not really even looking for the nutrients. It kills because it has to. If you are an InGen shareholder or stockholder, I hope you're very pleased with what you're seeing here today. We're going to see one more in action. Now, this is obviously not a suitable place for our InGen facility to live in perpetuity. So we're going to reset things a little bit. I'm going to bring back the fences. We're going to hire the ACU squad. Oh God, stop feasting on the people. We're done with the feasting. Oi, you, stop it. Stop the feasting. God damn it. Jeremy Jones is very disappointed in you, Yang. We're finished with the feasting. I hope you've all enjoyed this look at our first and latest new dinosaur in our brand new InGen testing facility. We will of course return at several dates in the future in order to showcase the latest and greatest that the Magical Nexus provides us with. But until then, we're not quite done. This is a building series of sorts. You know, you're here, you're part of the InGen company now, and you want to observe not just the dinosaurs themselves, as beautifully, stunningly gorgeous as these things might be, they really are just beautiful. You also want to see the park develop a little bit, so we're going to build ourselves a quick little habitat for these Yangchuanosauruses to live in, and then we're going to ship them over and all will be right with the world. So as our first creature, they're going to get pride of place towards the start of the park. Now we do need to leave a little bit of space, as you'll see in our future endeavours. One thing we do want is actually a shopping area of sorts. That might sound a little counterintuitive. We are, after all, a research facility. But in order to attract people, people are necessary, of course, for our testing, as you've already observed today. People seem to require food to survive. I know, it's crazy. I know, I don't approve of it. I don't. But they seem to. And in order to encourage people to arrive at our parks, we want to ply them with fat and sugar and such. People seem to enjoy those things. We're very lucky you're here to observe our ACU Centre upgrades as well. We have outfitted them with new rifles that upgrade a little bit quicker and are a little bit more accurate, and also the ability to schedule more than 2 things at a time. We hired rangers who don't have the memory of goldfish. Saying that, quick little factoid, goldfish actually have pretty decent memories. At least a few weeks' time, it's at least some form of internal memory. They did experiments where goldfish there was food behind one shape and netting behind the other shape, and over time the goldfish learned to go into that one shape, and then they were left alone for several weeks at a time, and they came back and the goldfish went through the correct shape the first time every time, because they remembered that's where the food was. Now, you may think, why is an InGen employee Jeremy Jones telling me this? And that's because one of our dinosaurs, I don't know which one, I'll think of something, is actually part goldfish. We included goldfish because there's a reason. I don't know. Look, I'm not a scientist, ladies. I'm not here to do science. I'm here to hype up our product. I'm the hype man. I'm not the scientist. I'll bring in the scientist in the future. I work with a lovely scientist called Rudiger Jones. He's my brother, and he will tell you all about the science of the goldfish. I'm sure he loves the. He will not shut up about the goldfish. So I'm sure he'd be more than happy to divulge if any of you do happen to be interested. You may be wondering how we're currently building like this. It does look like some sentient god creature is using a weird implement to drop fence magically, but it's just a trick of the light or something. Now you'll see that our Yangchuanosaurus do get knocked out fairly quickly. That's only because we use specialised darts here to control them. And as you can see, they are actually really adept at yoga as well, which doesn't sound helpful for a military dinosaur, and that's because it is. Somehow. Jeremy Jones this is my first day on the job. You know, Jeremy Jones is not yet used to these kind of situations. I hope the folks at home will forgive Jeremy Jones. Jeremy Jones is trying to put a pylon in a correct place, and Jeremy Jones is having a struggle. Jeremy Jones thought he was here to hype up the dinosaurs, not place bloody pylons. Jeremy Jones is going to be having words with his bosses. Jeremy Jones. We like to use the pylons to keep our electricity supply very, very rugged, constantly running, but also because we think it looks pretty cool. And that is about it, my lovely folks at home. So please do let me know if you'd like to purchase the Yangchuanosaurus. You can do so at the link I'll provide down below to the Magical Nexus. Reminder that this was made by Jagged Fang Designs and uploaded by PaleoDude123. It is my personal favourite of our InGen creatures, but of course we'll be highlighting many more creatures in our ever-expanding and ever-evolving facility down the line. If you're excited about that and you wish to return, then please do hit the big thumbs up that will appear as you exit the park. Does this make any sense whatsoever? And if you wish to leave a comment, there will be a guest book. You can feel free to fill that out as you leave as well. It looks like a YouTube comment section. Just trust me, it's weird. Thanks for joining me. Cheers, much love as always. Bye-bye. Hey folks, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video or you want to help support me a little bit more, you can do so at patreon.com/bestinslot. There's a link in the description down below. Every little really does help in times like these, but it's not at all expected, and by just watching the video you've already helped me out massively, and it makes you a pretty cool person, so well done you. Thanks for joining me either way, I'll see you next time.